We don't want to get into this. We do not want to get into this. We do want to get into this. Why wear scrubs when you can wear FIGS? What if something like this were created in the name of, I guess you could see it as like Adam and Eve, because, you know, back in the day, people wore FIGS, you know, like sort of tribal land-ish or nature land-ish. I just realized that the FIGS scrubs thing, you could see it certain ways. Like there's the Fig Newtons, and Newton has to do with knowledge and stuff like that, the apple and so forth and so on. And, you know, we have like medical industry people and they wear scrubs, but why wear scrubs when you can wear FIGS, you know? And I'm trying to figure out how many layers of meaning that particular brand or store or whatever it is has. FIGS. Now, I wound up in a holistic world, if you will, and yogic in nature. Loka Samasa Sukino Bhavantu, may all beings be happy and free, and may it contribute to the happiness and freedom of all beings. Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace. But I've wondered, you know, in holistic landia, you do all you can to avoid ever having to show up to the medical industry. It's more like, can you take care of your body enough? And this would mean, you know, whether it's through exercise and or food, this, that, and the other. Like, I went all raw vegan foodie, green juicer, whole 9 yards. And yoga saved my life, I'm pretty certain. It also helps, you know, to mentally withstand whatever people are doing external to you in order to provoke you or upset you or this, that, and the other. Anyway, but I kept wondering, like, why, what's with the FIGS? What's the FIGS? Fig, fig, fig. What's with FIGS? So I think there's a lot being said there, and, you know, anyway, holistic, you know, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, if you will. So food provides, you know, preventative measures to ever having to wind up in the hospital for reasons that could be prevented, possibly, you know, as far as we can tell. But, you know, it even comes down to job choice and stuff like that. You know, are you wearing scrubs? Or could it be a really bad connotation of, oh, did you go scrubs or FIGS? You know, like, I can't tell if people have malintentions or good intentions. If they're being malfeasant or if they're being good. I can't tell. And I wouldn't have even thought of it. It came up later, and as if there was someone in the sky saying, oh, we know what it means. We think we know what it means. We think what it means. So I don't know what to say. I don't think this way. I'm not a malfeasant type person. I do react to people who've hurt me, so directly, and I was very hurt beginning in 2011, so my world got turned upside down. Very bad, very illegal. Whoa, we are so not kidding. Verizon, what do you have to say for yourselves? AT&T, what's the issue? Are we being overused and abused by a power structure that should have never existed to begin with? So anyway, that's why we went FIGS. With Sharon, we had to go FIG. We couldn't go scrub. Which way? So anyway, just, you know, I'm sort of half joking on the last comment there, but it did save my life to become incredibly holistic, if you will, to practice yoga, to feel a sense of community. There was a major movement that kind of helped find affordable ways to do these things. These days you won't be able to find yoga the way you used to. I'm in a major city, so there was really good yoga here, but the movement has ended, sadly. The pandemic kind of picked, you know, sort of forced people out they couldn't afford, or they just saw it as a time period, an era ending, so they, you know, bowed out gracefully, if you will. And it is kind of sad because of how awesome, say, yoga was. Vinyasa flow, 75 to 90 minute. Technically, the #1 best yoga or more original yoga would be Ashtanga. We still have Ashtanga. The Ashtanga School of Philadelphia is, guess where? On Jewelers Row, Sansom Street, down by Washington Square. I was just there this weekend. When you're older, or for all kinds of reasons, Vinyasa flow developed, and they would have morphed out of Ashtanga. And anyway, it was, totally awesome, and they weren't totally strict, if you will, meaning they played music, had fun. It wasn't supposed to be this overly rigorous. It wasn't supposed to be overly militant, if you will. Some people see Ashtanga as militant. So you would have to start practicing and realize, whoa, this is serious stuff, a lot of people might laugh or think it's light or what have you. It isn't at all if you do the right yoga. So it develops the body very well, very rigorous. And at the end of a 75 to 90 minute good practice, you are kissing the ground, praising the gods for getting through the practice and for offering such a practice. It's hard to explain. Like at the end, you're just like, thank you for making this available and for giving me such a good practice or workout. They wouldn't use the word workout normally because it goes against a yogic lifestyle. Like it could be seen as like, it's not totally accurate, but it is a workout. But it's strictly a yoga practice. So anyway, here we are walking south on Broad Street towards Locust from Walnut, and we're still within the 8-minute frame, if you will. That used to be the Hershey Hotel, now it's Doubletree, and we have all kinds of Hershey references. It never ends because this is the neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen. This used to be Hershey Hotel, and it was a major marker for the opening section, if you will, of the neighborhood. Like, some might have said the Hershey Highway. Oh my God! Now it's Doubletree. So that over there is the neighborhood for the most part. It spans like a big area-ish, but the neighborhood is all over here. Locust is a main concourse through the neighborhood, or street, which is interesting because Locust is a very biblical reference. So to have the heart of the neighborhood planted on Locust Street, oh my God, the gods must be laughing, smiling, going crazy. The gods must be crazy. That's a movie ages ago about a Coke bottle, a Coca-Cola bottle that dropped in the middle of Africa, and a lot of, in a village no less. This is ages ago. And the villagers were like, what is this? What is this? What is this? And the whole idea was how Coke sort of was introduced to people who never saw Coca-Cola before. It's a favorite among regulars of that kind of movie, I guess. Gods must be crazy.